It 1000 podcast. It do not stop. It's the Keep It 1000 podcast.
But if we act as a people, the children, we can make programs for that. On a national scale, we need a national representative. We need a vice national representative. And like I said, we need 3 branches of government. If we do that and we put our resources, there's a lot of things we can take out of us. Now,
man, it's E.O.A, man, Equal Opportunity America. It's the open discussion, man. We got Ben in the building, man. He kind of, orchestrating the whole thing. And then we got a guest, Deandre. Welcome to the platform. That's what I'm saying? And we can go ahead and continue the discussion. Give me a definition of Equal Opportunity America. What is that?
Well, basically, let's put it like this. If we can be just as good as they are, we use the system for our benefit just as well as they do. Remember, if you look at the scale, Black people are on the bottom of everything. Education, economics, we don't own anything. We have trillions, but we're the 9th richest people in the world. And we're not organized. We have money coming in, we just not organized it on a level like they do. And whenever we ever tried, it was destroyed. Say like I was telling you, like Black Wall Street. That was Black people coming together to actually create something economically for their people. But what they was lacking was financing. I mean, not financing, capitalism. They didn't have the political structure. But Black Panther was a political structure, believe it or not. They exercised their right as the Constitution to bear arms, but they didn't have the money. One had the money, but didn't have the.
That's why I say what's driving it is really like the youth, because you look at it, or just look at the Black society, anything that the youth gravitate towards, that's what our money going to. So if you look at music, you look at sports, you look at anything that's dealing with, the upbringing of these kids and what they kind of focus on, that's where our money funnels into. So you have to change the direction of what their focus is, and that's where the money's going to go. So for instance, if you got a lot of kids who are starting to get more into science, or you start getting them more interested in science, or you get them more interested into economics, and they start seeing that the people above them that are already established in those fields are successful. For instance, like how they see the rappers, they see, the ball players, they see that they're successful. That's what they're going to gravitate towards. So if you show them that, look, you can have success doing this way, that's going to change the whole narrative down the line. And then, that's how you establish the foundation to be able to build upon and, create that avenue of income.
It's been a narrative that 3 ways out the hood is sports, music, and slanging drugs. I mean,
because that's what they see. I mean, kids gonna believe, what they see. Like if you put in front of them, that okay, this guy, he's going to prison and stuff like that, but when he's out, this is how much money he has. So they willing to take all risks, but if you put different things in front of them, like for instance, lawyers, doctors, or even let's go lower scale, you have entrepreneurs, people who own their own businesses, mechanics, things like that have revenue, and they create, they can show these kids that you could be successful doing it this way too. Then that just gives them another opportunity.
And what I think you said, that we have to control if we can work as a people on a national level, even on a local level. Well, we will take a national movement, because it's a national movement that's going against us.
It starts at home.
No, it starts at home, but it have to be on a national level. You can't let one group of home be right, and let's say 10%, and the rest of them is shot, because that's going to affect the 10%. But if we can get a movement to where we start showing these kids that what they're doing in their mind, changing their mind to believing that is the only way out, because you can show some people some things, and they probably, but we have to create a such environment. And as long as we live in an environment governed by someone else, and keep going back to this, is the fact that we create an environment governed by someone else, they are not going to give us the full potential. They not want the scale. They do not want an equal opportunity America. They do not want that. We can say it's easy to say. We can say to children. We can start with the youth, but also remember the youth is being raised by adults, and they mentally believe that they black skin is the worst thing that they could be in, and they would hate people in the same color. And these people are raising this generation that you're saying. Remember, they can go to school only so many hours a day.
I think nowadays the idols raise the generation. I don't think parents have control up to a certain point, but I feel like after that, it becomes the idol. Yeah, it's the idols is what they see. What you see them on tablets, phones, they're on TVs. That's what's raising them.
Well, I tell you what we need to do then. They have we need to understand some of these tablets to the point I'm still learning, just like me and Kell understanding this program. Mm-hmm. There's ways, and we need to teach each other this, the ones who knows. That's why I say it's gonna take a village. We've always been village. This is our heritage. This is the way we as a people structure each other. We operate as a unit, but they have separated us mentally to where we operate trying to do this individually. We don't let our neighbor know, hey, I got a daughter that's young, and I'm a man. Her mom not here, but she can help her teach things. I can teach a young man how to be a man. A woman can teach him, but we have to understand it's going to take all of us as a unit to do this. And that's what I'm saying. Even though you're saying that the parents can dictate like the phone, like I was about to make a point of. There's parental guidance that you can actually place on that phone. My son have an iPad, but he can only access so many type of videos.
That's why I say up until a certain age, because after a certain age, them kids can run circles around you with them.
True, but you still can lock the parental. You can lock your doors just like you can lock certain areas in that iPad. But we have to be taught how. We saying this, but they smart, but they're not smarter than us.
The 18-year-old ain't the same 18-year-old from our generation. The 18-year-old today is still a kid.
He's still a kid.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
You smarter than him. You've been through, and most people think that if you think your age make you dumber, nah.
It's experience.
Experience makes wisdom. You know things that they don't know.
It's less outside today. Them kids going outside less, seeing less stuff. But I mean, I guess you could say they seeing more because they can just type in whatever.
Well, it's controlled what they see.
As far as real experiences though.
So basically, that's another way we have to. Another thing, that's a perfect example. This can be some type of thing we can, like I said, on the 30th, this can actually be laid out to people. Somebody can actually have, look, this is how you created this. Okay. By you coming there, this is because, like I said, everybody coming to that meeting got 3 mics, 1 for the host, 2 for the audience. 3 minutes to do what you got to do. So basically, you come up and say, okay, I feel like that's the issue, that's a problem. Okay, but you can't come up with a problem without a solution. My solution on the national level, we need to organize ourselves as a black nationalism. People hate that word, but that's basically what it is. But black capitalism with it, it cannot operate without the other. We can have black nationalism, but we don't have money backing it, then it's going to fail. We got to have capitalism with nationalism. That's what America is based on. It's a nationalistic, capitalistic country.
The reason why that's so beneficial to other races and things like that, and it's not beneficial to black people, because black people don't like to pass down a lot of knowledge. So black people get to a point to where they'll get to a point and they might pass through some barriers, pass through barriers that maybe need to get to a certain point in whatever career or whatever, and they won't reach down there and help their brother up, to get them to that point as well. Now, that's what it's really going to take.
Right. This movement is not for everybody.
No.
You understand? If you have the right ones, the ones you're talking about, I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to the ones, you got to realize that some people are asleep. Really, the brothers are asleep. Some of them really are asleep. Some of them never wake up. But it depends on how amount of brain damage that has been done to them. Because like I say, if I have something that I know is going to grow up to be stronger and powerful than me, I'm going to start it young, prevent that power to go against me. The narrative about the baby elephant. You put a peg in his leg that you stick in the ground and he can't pull as a child, he gonna pull at it, but he realizes he can't. And you keep that same barrier on him until he get grown, he can pull the whole building down. But mentally, he still think he can't pull that little peg out the ground. We as a people have been structured that way. And you're right, there are some of us like that. But that's what you say, it have to change. We have to change their mind. It's more than just that they use. It's other symbols that they use to control us. Because if you could control the way a person thinks, you don't have to worry about what they do. If I can make you believe that you owe me $10 a week, you will resent me for owing it, but you still feel like you owe it to me, and you'll give it to me because you feel like you owe it. You might resent me for it, and that's what we're looking at. We're looking at our Caucasian Americans like they owe us so much, and they keep us in that position. They want us to keep begging them. I mean, why? I mean, if you get independent, if you get that much independence upon yourself as a people, I mean, what's going to stop them? As long as they can keep us thinking a certain way. There's nothing physical about them stronger than we are, or better than what we are. We dominate in every field of sports or activity that they get into. If they start a sport, we'll dominate any sport that we feel like we can win in, and we do. So we can do this on a national level. We could put policies or put politics within our own lives that we know as a people what's best. It might not be, and I'm not telling you to go against the laws of the land. As a matter of fact, I tell them people, look, we can make America great to the point where that we're going to solve crime, we're going to keep crime down, we're going to keep poverty down, we're going to keep a lot of things that you say is bad thing for blacks. We can correct that. Now, if they're against it, then they don't want us to have it. But we can do it. We just got to come together. Like you're playing, that's fine. Okay, now you see the problem. Okay, what would be the solution to that? Because remember, I understand everybody can come up with 1,000 problems, but what
I mean, even with the youth. All right, so if we say, okay, the problem is we can't see ourselves 30 years down the line, we can't see us, impacting offices or being in higher echelons of authority, and that's an issue. Okay, well, that takes skills, that takes training, that takes knowledge. So why not feed that into the youth so that eventually we can get to that point? That's really the solution. The solution is the passing down of knowledge that we already know to the competent ones that are able to apply it. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it, that's where I think the miscommunication is like, people will find a solution, they'll try to handle it all on their own, but you can't. It's something that you have to pass that knowledge down and let it grow.
I think we need, also in the neighborhood, we need neighborhood watches to the point where every incident that happened, we need to organize. But see, this is going to take
neighborhood programs.
Exactly.
You need neighborhood, like for instance, neighborhood communities where they teach welding. That used to be a big thing
in school.
They used to teach, but I'm saying you can gear it towards, this day and age now, and gear it towards economics, gear it towards the stock market, gear it towards taxes. You can start teaching these things in your own community. You don't have to depend on schools to teach that.
Right. But see, remember, we have to get the people who are willing to come in here and see these things and correct things. Because I was talking to a man just day before yesterday at the barber shop, and he was telling me, oh, niggas are never. Whatever I said, niggas are never. But that is in his mind. Believe you, if I can make you believe if I can make you believe you can't do something, even if you could do it, but most likely you won't succeed because I got you believing you can't.
Well, I think this day and age, everything is driven by the spotlight. So whatever a lot of people are talking about and a lot of people won't even know what it's about. They'll just gravitate towards it just because other people talking about it. And the thing is, it doesn't take any kind of any special thing. It's just something that needs to be highlighted. So if it's highlighted, for instance, with the youth, if something is highlighted in youth programs or in youth communities and stuff like that, or youth activism, programs or whatever, that's something that kids can look at and be like, oh, okay, well, we heard about this going on, blah, blah, blah. So that starts to spread. And that creates a spotlight that, that you need in order to
that tool
get
you
revenue.
just said.
You got to build trust, man. It's gonna take trust
It's
that they
gonna take,
believe
and it's
that
gonna take time.
But in
if
order
I
for
mess
somebody
with
to
him,
trust
I
something, they got
can,
to see it. I
yeah,
can't trust
they
what
got
I
to see
can't
the proof.
see. Yeah, I can't
got-
trust what I can't see.
You got to,
So,
yeah.
so in other words, how can we make this visible?
You make it visible with production. So,
But
for
it can
instance,
be visible, but how we make them, I think is
It has to.
trust,
What
really,
he's
like
saying, right?
to
How
make the
can we
person
this
want to do it.
visible?
It could be in their face all day.
But how?
Like,
How will we?
but I mean, it's better than not being in their face. That's what I'm saying.
But how? See, I can say like this. I want to start a business, and when I start that business, I'm gonna build this high-rise building. I'm gonna make $1,000. $2 million a year. But from where we are now, from this first step we are now, what direction? How do we get to that? I mean, what steps we take from now to get to where you saying need to be? Because I understand you're right. All that perfectly what you're saying. Okay, but these programs that you're saying, do they exist? Are they free? If it ain't free, how much is it? And if it isn't free,
listen,
how will we be able to put that into a budget?
So this is how most programs are started. You start off with something that isn't monetary or doesn't have a lot of value to it. So you might be giving this knowledge out for free or whatever. So say you take 10 kids, these kids, they're doing bright. They have an entrepreneurial spirit. They want to, learn. They want knowledge. You take these 10 kids, give them that knowledge, see what they do with it. Say if these kids take that knowledge, they become successful. They become entrepreneurs of their own. There's your proof. Show that.
So look, understand now. Look, this is what you're saying. See, we talking about the kids. Well, you know what? That's like the school. Sometimes the school, these teachers are sitting there very frustrated because they saying that the parents expect the children teach the school to raise their children, and they're only there for academic. In other words, after school curriculums you're talking about, right? Something that does not have nothing to do with school.
I'm talking about something that's in your own communities.
Yeah,
okay.
This
is driven by people
that ain't got nothing
that's
to do
around
with
you. Yeah.
Okay. Like what? Let's put it like what? A program.
Like you said, Neighborhood Watch. Why the Neighborhood Watch can't be the neighborhood community activist program that invites kids to come learn about how to do their taxes or how to help their mom raise extra money or go cut grass, and let's give you that entrepreneurial effort spirit so you can make money down the road. Give them opportunity.
So we don't have this. We don't have this now, right?
Where you see that at?
You're right. So
I mean,
how? Okay, cool. You're right. That's a perfect example. Now we need to structure this program you're talking about for the youth. We need to structure. You need to, just like you say, you have a plan for this building. I said I want a building that's 10-story high. But until you tell me the plan on how the foundation goes from this and that, I don't know.
It can't be a plan that's made by just one person. It needs
Exactly.
to be collective.
Right.
And the reason why I say it needs to be collective
because
you can't have one person saying, "Hey, I got these skills. Let me teach them to all of y'all." No, it's gonna have to come from multiple people that have different skills that can relate to different kids or relate to different people. And it might start with kids. It might move
I know how we can draw. I got a solution. I'm brainstorming on this. Say if we have a business owner, right? Say welding, mechanics, paint body, something like that. And he takes this young brother in. Now, mind you, as an entrepreneur in America, and me also in Louisiana, I know that insurance won't allow children at a certain age to be on the work side. Workers' comp is the main insurance that deal with that. And the state requires you not to be able to do that. But we can go to city. We can talk to the mayor of Baton Rouge, or we can talk to the governor of Louisiana and giving us some type of incentive toward making this program work. But it have to be somebody who's willing to represent. Remember, I say we have to have a city, state, and a federal representative. We will need to have that person with all the information they need that we trust will go down there and open program for us to do that. There's money for this.
And a 15-year-old can't work. A 15-year-old should be able to work, right?
Well, he can on certain jobs. And you got what I'm saying? Because, see, I do construction. I can't have nobody under the age of, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's...
But you don't have to have them... You don't have to have them in live, for instance, in real-world situations, just like in the classroom. Yeah, just like in the classroom, they put you in labs. You're not certified to, dissect the frog. But at the same time, they showing you how to do it. It's
so in other words, you're saying like a building where they
that's
come
all
in
you
and
need.
do that.
All you need. You don't even need a building. You need a space. It doesn't even need to be a building. Look, Jesus started his building outside.
No, he didn't have a building.
Exactly. There was no building.
No building.
It was everybody gathered around the space. Why it can't be taught like that?
Yeah,
like,
it can. But remember, if you out there with tools, say you're dealing with mechanics, you can't have them tools outside. You can't have a car that you jacked up that you're working on outside.
If these are the people that's been working and these are the people you trusting to teach these kids, they've been doing this for years. Have to be. I'm not gonna get a rookie to come out here and tell y'all how good it can be.
Okay, so basically, you saying let's put them in a park with what, a broken car?
I'm saying take people in your community, right? So you have multiple professions, you have multiple people that have different, ideas, shop. Different, like so. Say if you got somebody in the community that owns a mechanic shop,
a person with a mechanic shop, and you could get these kids a program where the city will back or give this. So I'm telling you a solution. They'll give that like my sister, she like my Peaches, she's 80% blind. If I could hire her, state will give me a break on her. But they only, now mind you, a 15, 30, where they need to be taught is really around about 13, 12, and 14, rounding up these skills to find who they are. But to be able to do that on the level,
I wouldn't even put an age limit on it. Whenever they feel interested.
Right. Okay, cool.
If you see other kids going out there learning that, you want to learn.
If it's under 18, I think certain insurance won't allow people on them people.
It ain't about the insurance. Because you're not working on nobody else's vehicle, you're working on vehicles that's funded through this program. For instance, if I go to a scrapyard, it's nothing for me to get a junk car. I can get a junk car $200 and say, hey, look, this what a carburetor at, this what a fuel pump at, this what a this what an air filter go. This is stuff that's simple. This stuff that might spark an interest in one of these kids, and they might want to take it further than what you tell them.
Now I'm gonna tell you, that's under you. Now that's a we're gonna put on the list, and we're gonna come up with ideas on how to do. Like you say, we're gonna on the 30th of this month, we're gonna be advertising, and I'm gonna tell you exactly the venue where we're gonna have it. We need to discuss the venue as a group. I can't say and I agree with you on the youth. You agree with them on the youth? Okay, cool. Yeah. I agree with them on the youth too. What I think also is not only the youth has to be dealt with, but the economical situation of us as a people too. We need to find people that, for one, this is not for everyone. This is for people who really want to work. Because people who don't want to work, no matter what kind of job you get them, they're not going to work. But we need to have these people who is willing to really, you never know, went through hard time, whatever they went through, but really want to make some money, teach them entrepreneurship. I really do believe every man should have some means. I'm not telling them not to get a job, but I'm telling them to find something they can do for themselves. Because if we get enough entrepreneurs together, we can't do it.
As far as these programs, though, it got to be, the times are getting more digital. It got to be some of those, too.
You know what I'm
saying? It can't just be mechanic, welding.
Right.
It could be graphic design. It could be
It could be drafting. It could be all kinds of things.
Like
software development.
Exactly. Yeah. But we got to organize.
You got to get some of those for sure.
Not only does that create a working class. Also, remember the people who is part of this. I recommend that they give back. And this can finance a lot of other people behind them. Once they become successful, think about where you think about the people behind you. Because, like I say, these venues I'm doing, these things I'm doing, I'm putting out money because of the fact I'm looking out for people who can come. I have to make that sacrifice if I really believe I want it to work.
And so, you know how, in the way you get it to work, like for instance, and I use this example with a lot of things. Everybody remembers when Popeyes came out with the chicken sandwich, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You put a spotlight on something, people gonna come.
Social media.
You got
to go in their world, bro.
And that's something very simple.
You know what I'm saying?
They just got to feel like they're getting something out of it. That's it.
So, Kell, look, what we'll do is we need a venue. We need a place to put. I don't think the first one's gonna be no more than 20, 25 people. I don't think the first one's gonna be that many people. But I'll cater the food. Have something for people to drink and sit back and us to come up what he put down is something that we need to put as a list of issues. I feel we need to also make on a national level. We need to reach out to people on a national level, the ones that people will respect, and see who will be considered as the national representative. Right now, we can start on a local level. Who can be the one representing it now? You got what I'm saying? Here, we
When
can
you say
actually
representing, what you saying? Representing the EOA?
say if we have issues like these programs Deandre was talking about. Deandre got a program that helps the youth. We need a local representative who can go in there and talk to Western Broom, and
Okay.
you know what I'm saying. That's our local representative. They
Gotcha.
can go in there and request certain things in order to get
You
this
must have got
funding
out of there.
for his program. You know, and
Mhm.
then but we need to list on what priorities, what we have, and how to achieve from where we're at now. First of all, what he's saying is a good thing. Let's get
Right.
programs. Programs is a perfect thing. But how are we going to be able to get these programs to reality where these kids can see it? If we get the programs into make it into a reality, the only
Do
way
you
we can
partner
do
with the
that,
schools?
huh?
You could probably partner with the schools, huh? Or this
Yeah, but
just separate. This just
that's
in the
gonna be
community.
on the budget of the city. If the city parish, that's why they took it out in the first place. They didn't have a budget for it, but that's what they say. But if we sit up there and see, and once we have that private on the 30th, where you don't have any recording material, that a lot of it we're gonna get to the bone of. Right now, we scratching the surface about the issues we have and what agendas need to be presented at that time. The youth, y'all just said that. Boom, we can put that in discussion. All of us need to discussion clear. Come up with an idea about this, what he's saying. We need to come up with some real ideas amongst ourselves. It ain't gonna be done with us three. We need a room. I mean, that's why our responsibility as a people, we need to let more people know. And remember, like I say, if you hear a brother say niggas can't, them the ones you don't want them. Because they don't believe they can.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't believe they can, then we can't do nothing with them right now, like you say. But once they see it happening, then they'll start believing it can. And then they can
That's when
change
it's
their
gonna
behavior.
grow.
Then it'll grow. But the ones who believe who's lost or asleep or whatever, you can't deal with them right now. You got some that you can talk to and wake up, but some gonna have to wake up, at their own due time. But right now, it don't take many to change a lot.
Mm.
It started small, but when we get in there to the seminar where no recorders, no phone, or nothing is at, we're gonna really get down to some real serious talking. About what we feel like should be. I feel like we need to have, like he said, the youth programs. We need to deal with the void between us as a family, women and men, the women and the men. We need to actually come together in a forum where women and men are in that same room.
Or if you just want to do something that's geared towards, like if it's not necessarily youth, that's geared towards just the community. Hell, you could start with community developments. Like how can you make your neighborhood be better? Because like I said, it starts at home. So
Right.
it starts off with you picking up the trash in your yard or picking up the trash around your house. Then you move out to the neighbor's yard and you be like, hey, hey neighbor, whatever, you need me to cut that part of your grass for you. And then eventually it spreads out throughout the whole community. And
Right.
everybody's on one page, and that's
And
how
I
you
do
get that
believe
community.
we do need to create a neighborhood, like get the neighborhood to get to know each other.
Yeah, it get them
Like
talking.
a few people come together, and then they get to knowing that this boy know their mama. A child, if that child know me, I know his mama, he gonna
He
respect
ain't
me.
about to be around here doing
He
all
ain't
that.
gonna be around it, but you
It,
got to get the community because we in a closed door in situation, and they made that's the only way divide and conquer. That is
and and
the
here's the
way
other
to
side of
beat
that.
anybody.
And
But they
here's
keep. I don't know. I know my neighbors. I know them, but how many neighborhoods we in? They don't even talk to their neighbors
But
across the
that's what I'm
street.
saying. That and the other side of that is the kids don't know what that kid's parent does. For instance, the kid probably don't even know that this profession exists. But the
Yeah.
kid he go to school with every day see that his mama wake up or his dad wakes up and goes to develop software or something like that, or he's in IT or something like that, and this kid probably doesn't even know that exists.
Yeah.
So the more you engage your
That's right. In the
neighbor, the
community,
more
That's right. That's what I'm saying. This discussion, when we go out right now on social media, but I ain't gonna lie, I would hope it's one day to be able to get a crew together that can go to these hoods and go door to door and say, hey, Miss Johnson next door, she have such and such, she have a little child, she's grandmother, but she taking her daughter in, her daughter's locked up. This is such and such, this is such and such. Introduce the people. So if they see that child, girl, I'm gonna tell Miss Johnson on your mom, I'm gonna tell Miss Johnson on you, you don't get your butt home. They know, I know this child gonna look and know the parent. Because we so not involved to the point where we don't know who these children are. They cussing in front of old folks they don't know. Because, you know, if they knew the parent of that child, most likely that child wouldn't act up as bad.
Need some resources for the struggle too.
That's where you see,
you know, they need some. They light bill. They about to get cut off. They need somewhere to go to get that. You know what I'm saying? So you can't abuse it, but
we have
it's there if you need it.
Now remember, this capitalistic system
that's going to take finances
with nationalism. The capitalistic part is where the finances come in at. Part of the finance can be we channel our money. Say us three, right? If we go to one company and say, look, we're going to drop all whatever insurance company you have and go to Allstate or State Farm and say, look, or say if I'm with State Farm, I say, look, I'm going to bring these two with me, but you got to get them to a good deal. Don't let me have 10 people. If I have 10 people coming into the office, Allstate office, or whatever office we go, in other words, we got to channel our money. We're going to have to channel it.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. The resources for the struggle, bro. It's a worldwide struggle. You know what I'm saying? People need, you know, I mean, they working their butt off and, you know, they just ain't getting paid enough. You know, so they fall on hard times. They should be able to go somewhere and get a loan or whatever.
Yeah, you know? and that goes back to knowing your community. You might have somebody in your community that work at the bank.
Yeah.
Hey,
that might be
more of us in position. We need to be in position everywhere. Lawyer, this dude here, policeman, you know.
But see, that's how you know other races excel.
Exactly.
You know, they don't do that. They don't do it on their own. They look to
they always have help.
They look to their community.
Yeah.
So that's what it's really gonna take. Is
like daycare centers for that mother. She might want to go to school at night or whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that.
Yeah, but guess what? Miss Mary down the street will take in your kid.
Oh, watch her, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
like the old
you ain't
school.
gonna know that. Yeah, you're not gonna know that until you get to know your community. And I think that's what we out of touch with. You know, it's just a lot of people.
It's a lot just mind your business, and that's what everybody do. It's like,
that's what everybody do. It's hurting us.
He'll speak. Hey, how you doing? That's it.
That's it. You ain't gonna ask, hey, how your kid doing? You know, I heard he was in football. Is he doing good? You know, stuff like that. Getting them to actually know who your neighbors are. You know, and not
it's that generation in the 40s and 50s that, I mean, probably the last of that left. Like even talking to your neighbor.
Yep.
Like, man, coming behind us in the 30s and the 20s, man, they ain't doing none of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Keep moving.
And look, and we gotta realize too, it really started with us too, because we three here. Now I'm gonna tell you because, you know, I feel like we need to have a group of elderly women, elderly married couple, elderly men that can talk to people on what issues they have. I'm not married. I've been married. I have divorced twice. So I'm not the good candidate. I can tell you how to destroy one, or what you're doing is bad, or where to lead, but how to make it work. We need somebody who's been married for a length of time. Because that shows, nobody can tell, a woman can't really tell me how it is to be a man. You're not a man. You're not in my shoes. A person who has been married for a long length of time needs to have somebody. Why are you doing that? Go watch TV. Okay, so gotta have somebody that actually been married. You got what I'm saying? In order to change that. So in any situation you have, like you say, a person that graduated college and a person struggling with college, we need to have an organization that people that fit the issues. Because somebody come to me and say, man, I'm out of prison, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how I'm gonna make it. You know, they don't understand me, man. They ain't never been. I can tell them. I can tell you, well, I've been a state, I've been there. I've been a well, I've been there too. I can tell you, you could come up out of it, but are you gonna listen or are you gonna make the sacrifice to make it? Because it's not for everybody. Everybody's just not gonna put forth effort. Some people just lazy and that's just the nature of that person. So, but we need to make programs, like you say, on a social level, local social. We need to create a social environment for each other so we can talk to each other. Did you know that was one of the main things that, if you want to really know what they use to take us down as a people, look at the beginning of America history. They didn't allow blacks to come together in crowds and talk. There's a reason for that.
Yeah, they didn't allow them to read.
They didn't allow us to read.
Yeah.
They didn't allow us
to stick together. They know
the laws.
If we stick together, we powerful.
Most people who sell drugs don't know the laws of the drugs that they selling. They can't tell you how much time you get. You know, they don't know nothing. They don't know what schedule it is.
Because they put those laws in the book.
That's right.
So black people ain't gonna never open up.
So if you gonna sell drugs, at least know what the drug is and what you get for it. Think of the penalties. You playing a game, you don't even know the rules.
Mm-hmm.
How you gonna play a game and don't even know the rules or the consequences of the game?
Well,
are you looking at the benefits? You don't look at the downside.
It's the conditions too, though. Mm-hmm. The conditions too. If my back is against the wall, right?
Right.
And this is all. This is a last effort. You know, it's either this or the penitentiary. You're gonna choose this if you got a family, because you got to take care of them. You gotta get some kind of funding. You got to get some kind of income. So that's why I say opportunity.
Listen, the key to that is that what you got to realize though is when I did what I did not know the consequences of what I did. I did not think the people would give me that much time for the little I had because I didn't read it. Once I read it, I understood it. But the consequences ain't in their mind. Believe me, if they put it like this, if you tell somebody, look,
if I'm hungry, I ain't thinking about consequences. If I'm starving, I'm not thinking about consequences.
Ain't nobody. You
might even know, but you gonna block it out.
Listen, ain't nobody that hungry. Ain't nobody have look, and I've been there.
But the thing is, and the reason why I say that is because in this society, it's nothing is never enough. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So you might feel the need of hunger and still be full.
True. Now that's a mental
in this society.
Thing. That's a mental. You can't. You're right. Because I told a person you can't keep looking at the cup half empty. Gotta look at it half full. Because if I constantly believe that I'm going down, no matter what I give a person, they're gonna feel like they're going down. I have family members. No matter what you give them, they always are going down. No matter they can have a house, lights, water, food in the house. They live it. They ain't on the streets. But you can show somebody on the streets. But they don't see that. They don't have that perception. They are going down. The cup is always half empty. That is the person you have to change their mind.
But what about like inflation and you only making a certain that they ain't raising the wages for these jobs?
True.
Right now, ain't no job paying $50 an hour.
You know, listen.
Why? Like, well, they do welding and stuff, but why they don't have a lot of jobs that pay $50 an hour will have somebody living comfortable? Well, see what I'm saying? It's like it's a setup or something.
That goes back on us depending on the system for them.
We should be way more jobs paying $40 and $50 an hour. What you really need
depending on their system to give us that. We're not gonna get that. I'm gonna keep telling you, if we don't learn to respect ourselves, ain't nobody gonna respect us. We gotta show them we can do this.
Well, you have to show them that you're self-sufficient.
That's right.
You can do it without
it. They respect you.
That's where the value comes in. Because I mean, for instance, if I know somebody, is able to produce something, but they might not have the resources or tools to produce it, I might just give them the resources and tools and just say, look, just do it for me.
Yeah.
Instead of that person just learning how to get the tools and resources just to do it for their own self. You know what I'm saying? So it's it's a quick way to get caught in a trap like that,
Yeah. And the thing about it is, if you teach a man how to fish, you ain't got to feed him. So we have to be taught how to do what they do. We need to be more entrepreneurs.
But there's people out there that know that. And all they got to do is pass down the knowledge. That's it. If you pass down the knowledge, somebody going to pick up on it.
Right.
And they're going to run with it.
Like I say, there are some people like that. I call them jigaboos. Let me tell you something about jigaboo. He don't want. I deal with people of color, Black Americans all the time that got money. They hate themselves subconsciously. I had a woman say, "Oh, you know," she said, "Man, I still got a white man to do this." I said, "You just don't know how racist that sounds." The Mexican who was working with me started picking up tools because of what she said. That man said, "I don't understand it." He said, "I don't understand why she say that. Ain't she?" I said, "I know. That is reverse racism, but that's taught. You gotta understand, there's people out there who are really brainwashed. And I'm gonna tell you something, you gotta hand it, we smart people, Black people, we all smart people. But you can't underestimate the smartness of the Caucasian and the system they made. They made it to the point where you hate yourself. And you that is embedded in you. If they can get you, and a lot of us are like that. That causes, like you say, there's some people that won't. That's what the problem is. We do need mental health too. Like you said, for the youth, yes, but we need mental health for sure. We need to.
We got somebody else coming in, man. What up?
What up?
We got Deandre joining the discussion.
Already.
We're discussing mental health also, because you know, as a people, we've been brainwashed to believe that we can't. And if you don't have faith in something, if you don't have faith, then you know you're not gonna make it. That's half the battle right there, is having faith. You're actually gonna act off your faith. Not only you
that's really all this is believing that
act off your belief.
It's gonna work. You know what I'm saying?
Take that away from it, man. You know, it's very important that we get it back.
Well, we can.
You know,
we can do this.
It's very important that we get it back, man.
See, I'm like I was telling, what's it called, the best way. And he was saying, children, we can start with the children. That's one way. And see, on the 30th, I'm letting you know this. See, on the 30th, we're gonna have a venue. Hopefully next week I can get that venue together where we all come together. Now, at this venue, you can't have any phones, no recording, no watches, and none of that. For sure, no weapons. You know, but you will be able to talk, and we're gonna talk in exclusive for a lot of the issues that we can't say on social media. Because don't get me wrong, but we won't break any law. This is what I do believe. We're not breaking none of the laws of the Constitution. That's a fact. People can still say what they want. We're not talking about that. But we do need to talk about sensitive issues about us as a people. That we shouldn't let other races. We need to address the elephant in the room. But we need to address the elephant in the room in private. You got me?
Right.
Come up with solutions ourselves. You know, because Malcolm X said the same thing. He was branching off believing the same thing. But I believe we need to make a nationalistic, capitalistic society in America. But one, Black people is a trillionaire. We're the 9th richest people in the world. We make a lot of money. We just don't channel it the right way. If we can control and get our money into one direction, there's nothing we can't do. But we got to control. We got to get Black Lives Matter. All these people on one accord. Everybody pulling this way. I'm marching here. We don't need to. We need to. For one, we do need to stop all these marches. But we marching for many people been marching for 50 years, man. I ain't wasting my money on that, man. I'm telling you, I'm not gonna march. You talk about a march. What you marching for? They've been doing this for years. They ain't gonna stop.
They didn't start making a mockery of the marching. They started marching too. They started marching too for anything.
They started marching too.
Marching for anything.
Yeah.
They
ain't marching nowhere, man. I ain't lying. When I want to do is march you down there to the Secretary of State and put a business in your name. I'll march down there and do that with you. Get something started for yourself, because then you're in control of your own money. You'll never be true. As long as you work for someone else, they always have the power to dictate a part of your future. Because they can fire you anytime you get ready. Ain't nothing you can say about it. It's a free high state, you know. And if we get together with that, and then we help each other, we need to put an account together. I think we can do this nonprofit. If we go to the state, because the name of it, what we have, we can open up an account, nonprofit. That money that goes in there, everybody member knows how much it is. but we represent a treasurer over those finances. The Constitution is built perfect. It is the perfect piece of paper to govern people. If we use that same Constitution and govern ourselves on that level,
you saying
they
like
doing
a membership fee, like a union or something?
Well, you can. I feel like you should have like a social security number. You have a number. You can either your last 4 digits with a 7 in the front or a 7 in the back. You know, some number that takes you from that number, whatever you give or whatever you do, because sometimes you have to get paid. Say if we send you out there and
got somebody else,
you want to try to do something right for the group, and we can't. And say if you want to use your expertise for, say, being a lawyer, you represent all of us as a lawyer. You got what I'm saying? We channel our money to certain lawyers, certain mechanics, certain hospitals, certain insurance companies, and we can channel our money. We will get less price. We control our money. Say,
so you saying everybody putting their money in a pot to do stuff like basically the open up the center, open up the center in the hood, right? Or have resources for that mother that's struggling with a light bill. She can come here and get it paid. Or you know, they can't abuse it.
But they got local programs. They got programs for the city.
I'm pretty sure they do.
But the thing about it, and it is there for that. We can use the money, but remember, we do everything as a group. We vote on everything. You see, if we do this as a people, we'll be able to control our own destiny. You got what I'm saying? We can control our own money. And then we depend on their banks to give us money. You know, they give money to themselves. They don't give money to us. And I say them because that's a system they made. It ain't nothing wrong with what they are doing. They should do it. They're not wrong for doing what they do. They taking care of themselves. They self-preservation. We just lack that. We're in the best position to do just what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we got on the 30th, we picked the venue. Say, Kell, we're gonna sit up there and work, everybody get their head together, look at a nice little venue we can get. Like I say, it shouldn't be no more than 25 people. And we're gonna every time we come on here at 1, we're gonna do it. Every time we come on at 1, we're gonna push that issue.
Yeah, the video was a success, man. I said, let me see if y'all still on there, man. So I did a lot today, bro. It was more professional than what I had expected. So it's a blessing and everything coming together, bro. Because lately I've been surrounded by a number of positive people, man. And you know, and for you to come up with this, man, this giving me something else to do, man. And I feel like the more active that we is, the more prosper we'll be, man. And sometimes, but we do a lot of stuff for ourselves, but it's really for these days, bro. We living for the youth, right? And the youth and our roots, man, where we come from, man. And we not stepping on nobody's toes, man. We just opened up some new doors.
We making America great. We
making it great,
America greater than it's ever been.
Greater than it's ever been.
And we're gonna make America greater than it's ever been.
Yeah, I like that.
And we can do that. You know, and if people say, well, you know, these black folk coming together, what they gonna do? Look, we're gonna lower crime. We're gonna stop leaning on the federal government so much. We're gonna stop leaning on the taxpayers. We're gonna stop doing a lot of things that we begging for that we can do for ourselves. Okay. I mean, if nobody don't want that, they just don't want us to achieve nothing. Period.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what we can do. That's what we can do. So
I'm with it, bro. I'm with it 100%, man. God is real, bro. And every movement you make, I give him the glory because I wouldn't have a chance to run across people like y'all, even though I've been on y'all, but run across y'all when y'all doing something like that, man. And I appreciate y'all getting me involved, bro. And it sounds like a winner, man. That's all I really can say, bro.
And hey, you know better than anybody. If I can come out and God can bring me out to be the man I am, people sit there and they tell me, man, I know what you did. I said, yeah, you talk about the boy I was, not the man I am.
Amen.